I'm your host, Coach Monica. I'm joined today by Coach Darcy, and we are here to guide you through the ins and outs of a lifestyle that's transformed not just our lives, but the lives of countless women navigating the waves of perimenopause and menopause. Whether you're here to shed weight, understand your body better, or simply find a community that gets it, you're in the right place. So sit back and enjoy the next few minutes as we tackle the hot issues of today.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Wow. Do you know when you have like this dream that you're in another world and you wake up and you're like, how did I get here? I don't know. Have you ever experienced that?
I have.
It's kind of how I am this morning when I logged into our streaming software. It was like it was another world. And it said, are you sure you want to see this? And I said, well, I don't know if I do or not. And so we have a whole new dashboard. So welcome.
Bear with you while you manage that.
Well, I find our, gosh. Whew. How is everybody this morning? It's our Tuesday live.
When you jump on, say hello, where you're watching from.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any questions that are just on your mind right now,
like this is Question Tuesday.
Just plop them out.
Yeah. We need a saying for that, for Question Tuesday. So sometimes we have an agenda. Sometimes we're like, this is what we're going to talk about today. And then sometimes we are audience driven. So if you have any questions for us today about anything, we will answer it. So,
I'd like to know how many of our carnivore challenge people are here.
Me too.
And how they're feeling.
Yeah. Last night, I didn't realize how many of our clients were taking the challenge until our group last night. I'm like, oh,
macros have been very easy.
Very easy. Yeah. Meat or meat.
Or dairy. There's a lot of dairy.
Yeah, a little too much dairy. I had a couple of consults yesterday, and we toned the dairy down just a little bit. Good morning, Mike.
Yeah.
Send a list of questions our way, Mike. If you got them, we'll answer them. Hey, we just cut a brand new podcast that's going to air on the 28th. It was a really cool podcast. We've been talking about doing it for a while, about how our weight loss journey impacted our marriage. So we did the first half. We're going to bring in the guys here in a couple of weeks. But we did the first half where we just I'm like, you know what? We were preparing for it. We're like, had all these notes, and I'm like, we don't need those. I think it's a kind of a better deal if we're just authentic and just tell our stories. So that's what we did. And that was fun. That was really fun. Yes. So that's going to air on the 28th of May. We had one drop today. So go find us. I'll drop I'm looking over here to get it.
It's a short and sweet one, though.
It is.
I don't know if it's sweet, but
it is.
It's short.
Yeah, I'm going to drop it in our comment section. We talk a lot about macros and why we track our macros and how that impacted our own weight loss journey. And why we track macros for our clients. So there's just a lot of really good reasons why we do that. That's why we're successful. That's what separates us from those intuitive eating coaches, because we believe macros are important.
Yeah.
So I just dropped a link to our latest podcast. So go over and find us. If you're over on Apple, I think does Spotify have the reviews as well?
Yeah.
Or is that just Apple?
Well, do they? I'm usually more Apple Podcast or Audible has the podcast.
You're listening on Audible too?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. I've never listened over there. I think I'm a Spotify girl. Except for podcasts. Podcasts, I'm over on Apple. So I guess
where I am.
I'm a mixture of both. So
I don't really listen to Spotify.
I do. All my music's over on Spotify, and so I do like that. Our church does a really cool thing. I like to know, I just like to know what we're singing on. It just kind of prepares my head, and so they always put our Sunday set list. Do you guys do that at your church?
No.
The Sunday set list? It's really cool.
No.
I enjoy it.
We only have like three
songs. That's all you sing? 3 songs?
On that Sunday morning, yeah.
Well, that's all they put on our Spotify. It changes every week. But
when
I was new to the church, it was so helpful because I'm like, I didn't know your songs, but throughout the week, I know your songs. So pretty cool, off the topic. So
that's true. That's a
hey,
good
if
thing.
you guys have questions, we want to answer your questions. Anything weight loss, anything. Actually, we're going to talk a little bit about carnivore today.
Yeah.
How I'll give you kind of an update on our carnivore journey. Coach Darcy and I, we made it through Mother's Day. We're doing a 30-day challenge with 150 of our best friends over in our group and having a ball. We're having a really good time over there in that group. And we're learning a lot. So our carnivore journey, I am 16 days in. Are you,
15.
you're kind of like, yeah, you're 15.
15.
And our people are about 13
They're
days in.
14. I think they
14?
started on the 1st.
Yeah.
So we're all kind of just,
kinda
we're not
hanging out.
that far ahead, but we're.
So yeah, it's going very well for me. I don't know if you saw my TikTok, but I released a TikTok on how I wanted carnivore to fail. And it's unfortunately not failing for me.
It's not failing.
It's not. And we made it through Mother's Day. I was really impressed with that. I was thinking that was going to be a little bit more difficult because our whole family is keto. So we're like pretty much everybody. There's some that aren't, but it's pretty much standard. You know, you go and there's the keto treats and it's very, very safe to eat at our house. But being carnivore, I was a little concerned that we might have a little bit of FOMO, on Mother's Day, but we really didn't.
No. I mean, towards the end when we were sitting there, and that was the importance of like getting up and moving, because when you're sitting there, you're thinking about the things that are keto, even that are that Dad had. Mom had a smorgasbord for Dad. The only keto one that was legit keto there. Had a whole spread for him.
He was living his best life.
He was.
He had keto granola. He had the keto cookies. It did impact me towards the end, like you said.
I saw you. You were trying to smell it.
I smelled them. Yes, I smelled them.
I'm like, don't do that to yourself.
No, but I didn't miss anything. I was not hungry. But I realized at the end of that day what my problem has been is I just eat too much. I was thinking about everything that was on that table, the granola, the cookies, the chips, and the broccoli, all of that broccoli. I was like imagining I would have been eating that broccoli all day. And when I do, my stomach bloats up and I do look like I'm about 4 months pregnant after eating the veggies. And so I realized that I have just been eating too much. And so that's my number, that's my number one problem. But I feel incredible. Like I don't have any more stomach bloat. I don't have any more pain. I'm a little bored with food, but it's my own fault. There are ways that you can spice up your carnivore journey. There's ways that you can, and I did that yesterday. I made keto chicken nuggets, which I love. Mike. I could, oh my gosh, Mike, down 12 pounds, 13 days of carnivore. That is incredible. The cool thing I'm finding, Mike, is I am down, I just counted this morning, I'm down 7.2. But what I'm finding is it's staying off. So before, if I would do some fasting, it would just, it would dip low. And then when I would start eating again, it would come right back. Now it's staying there. And, I hit a new low this morning. So yeah, I can't say enough good about it. Now I'm
on the opposite though, because I haven't lost a whole lot still. Like, and I think that's okay. I think I'm still rocking the -4. It keeps going up and down.
But you also have your cycle still. We were talking earlier, so maybe hormones. It's interesting to see that maybe hormones have something to do with
possibly. I also have been I would do work out, but just moderate during the week, and then Friday is like a HIIT class, which is hardcore. Not sure if that has anything to do with it, or if if maybe there's more inches than anything. I feel smaller. I feel like my inflammation in my legs is down. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a real eye opener for me, for sure. And it's made me think, okay, what is my future? Now that I feel like I have my cravings under control, I have my inflammation under control. Now it's an open book. I can decide, all right, what does this look like? What does the next 30 days look like? I'm thinking and I'm kind of processing, what the next journey will look like for me. And there's no wrong answer. So we are getting ready. We're walking 150, people through the challenge. Some of them are going to stay carnivore for 90 days. Some of them are going to ask us how to transition into more keto. Some of them came from the standard American diet. They had a pretty hard detox.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, okay, carnivore is not for me, but how do I keep those cravings gone? How do I keep my journey up? And those people are going to transition into our one-on-ones. We're going to have some people who say, Monica, I need 90 days, and those people are going to transition into our group. So yeah, it's probably been the most successful group we've run. So it's really cool. And we were talking this morning, you are going to start to experiment, because you and I don't know if we talked about this last week, but you and I are becoming certified in Dr. Mindy's program, Fast Like a Girl. Best training we've ever taken, by the way. My gosh. I was going through, how when you're taking notes on something, really quickly, and I changed notebooks. And so I was going and I was transferring my notes from one to, I realized how big the program was and how I need a whole notebook for this one certification. I could still remember, like I understood my notes.
Yeah.
Really totally amazing. But we were talking about you incorporating our new certification of hormones, this is the menopause reset book, Fasting Like a Girl, you transferring, and what would it look like for a carnivore menopause or carnivore hormone reset?
Yeah, because I was doing that. I'm
totally
going on like a year of doing the Fast Like a Girl.
And it's working for you.
Yeah, I've done a lot less fasting, which is kind of the point of the Fast Like a Girl. But I've been able to tweak it for my own self, my own personal self, and I think.
But I think you're selling yourself short when you say it's about fasting, because you told me that when you eat the more carbs, when you eat more carbs during different, during your hormone feeding phase, that you don't even notice your cycle anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. I don't necessarily fast like 24-hour fast. I do fast. And then there are certain periods of time where I don't fast because it's not good for the hormones that are being built or being used at the time. And yeah, like I will not, like usually your body kind of like before it would tell me like, hey, you're about to start.
Yeah.
I could tell by my moods still, like how I'm feeling. I'm a little extra tired or something like that. Or if maybe my body did not create that type of hormone that it needed the best that it could have that month.
Progesterone.
But I don't feel any cramping until the very day that she shows up.
So it's powerful stuff. It's powerful.
And it's more regular. Like just, it's amazing.
Right. What I like about us doing the 30-day carnivore and you coming off of that program, because you were on that program for quite a while. Yeah. What I like about that is you have like literally reset your body. So you will have an open book, and you'll have to get your journal out, You'll have to be like really journally on this, because it will be really cool to find out when you combine those two and adapt, to come up with the amazing process. I love it. Danita, we do, there's lots of different carnivores. We are not the carnivore police in our group. We laid it out. We laid all of the ways out. There's the strict, what do you call that, Darcy? Nose to tail carnivore.
Yeah. They call that the lion.
The lion,
like that one, where it's just meat and water.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Nose to tail.
Yeah. What I'm doing personally is anything animal products, but I use dairy as a condiment. So I don't eat a lot of cheese, don't eat a lot of dairy, but I do use it to like dip things in, or the amount of cottage cheese, like a dip. So that's what I'm choosing to do. We have got some nose to tail. We got some lions in our group. Actually, Mike, I think Mike's a lion at this point. Mike, give us an update on how you're feeling and what you're doing if you're still watching. Those guys are beasts, and they haven't even brought in eggs. So Monica says still feeling good on carnivore, sleeping better. Dairy is a choke point for me. Yes. Especially when it comes to like constipation and things like that. Some people are really having to back off. I asked 3 clients to back off on the dairy yesterday. Just because it can stall you. It also can bring, there's a lot of mold in dairy, especially in the soft dairy. If you're going to do the dairy, you want to go for the hard cheeses and the hard dairy. So yeah. Average weight loss from the last 12 days. We just did a check-in yesterday. Average loss is about 12 pounds, depending on how much people have to lose. So Mike says here, eating only meat, nice. Steak, chicken, pork. Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that I discovered, thanks to Coach Darcy, last weekend, I had my hardest detox. I was just not feeling it at all. I just couldn't eat. And one thing she said was mix up your proteins on your plate. And I don't know why, but for me, I'm like, well, a steak is a steak. You can actually put steak and chicken on your plate.
Steak and shrimp, steak and lobster.
Yeah. And that's what I did. That Monday I had cold shrimp. I had, I kind of like the cocktail shrimp. And that just lightened my stomach up. I had chicken legs that evening, completely lightened it up. And that just took me out of my funk right then. So switching up the protein really had helped me.
Well, even when it comes to switching up the areas that you're eating of the protein, like, you're eating chicken wings versus a chicken breast. If you're constantly eating one type of area of the maybe a chicken, you're going to get bored of it. It's not going to give you all the nutrients or the fats or anything like that you need. So that's why I understand the concept of the nose to tail, because there's not, 100 breasts on a chicken. There's 1 or 2. Is there 2 breasts on a chicken? I think there's 2 breasts on a chicken. Don't judge me.
That was cute.
Don't judge
really
me.
Cute.
It's 2 breasts.
I love it. Oh.
2 wings, 2 breasts.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing I learned was it's okay to not like certain kinds of meat. I kept forcing myself to eat pork chops. I'm like, I hate pork chops. Why am I eating pork chops? I hate them. And so I'm like, well, I don't have to eat pork chops. And so I'm not eating pork chops. Slowing dairy has helped very much so. And I think in the regular lifestyle as well, I think dairy is a really, really big stalling point for weight loss. And, it could be the lactose, it could be the mold. There's just a lot of stuff. So I like using dairy as a dip. I love making my keto chicken nuggets, and I just dip it in plain Greek yogurt, put some pink salt in there, and to make this dip. And I love dipping. I'm a dipper. So I do miss dipping.
I do that.
So yeah, it's been one of the greatest experiments that we've done with our group. Let's talk to Monica here. Boredom was a concern for me. I find being more creative with nose to tail. Though I managed to sneak in liver with my husband, I put in an 80-20 burger. He never even noticed, and he cooked it on the Blackstone. Totally. Amazing. We do have to be more creative. And how I was anyway. I'm a boring cook on keto or anything. Like, I'm just boring. And I realized that if I'm going to make this work, I'm going to have to make my head work just a little bit. I'm going to have to think a little bit ahead, especially being responsible for having Brian doing it with me. I don't want him to get bored because he agreed to do this, this thing. So, and I don't want him to have to eat cheese all the time.
No, he can get that grill out and grill all the things.
Yeah, exactly.
He could become the cook.
That's what we've been doing. In fact, last night I was going to have supper ready when he got home because I had two classes last night. And we have a pellet grill, and I ran out of pellets. So I ruined the whole thing because when you run out of pellets, you got to restart the whole thing. And
yeah.
So, being a little bit more prepared is a requirement. I'm not a food prepper, but you're going to have to be.
This is my list of the different types of meat. And so if I get bored, I know what I will go to. I have yet to try the lamb chops yet or the lobster tail. But that means I have to go to the store and get it. But we did try ahi tuna and scallops one night. So we did go fish. And I don't like fish, but I like it when it's fried in bacon grease.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Somebody mentioned that in group, cooking their salmon in bacon grease. Yeah.
And I did a mixture of butter and bacon grease together. So that was a good way to get my fats in.
Yeah.
Without eating a stick of butter.
Yeah. Well, and I just bought an 8-pound bag of chicken breasts and just keep it. I don't even freeze my meat anymore. I just keep it in the refrigerator and pull it out because then you don't have to defrost it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I love what it's doing. I love how I feel. I love not having pain. And so I'm so glad we did this when we did because I was really holding a lot of inflammation.
Yeah.
And so that has been a big bonus for me. I have to keep cooked bacon, sausage, and boiled eggs on hand. Not been freezing meat either. Yeah, I just buy it. And I thought the first trip to the grocery and the price tag on that, I thought, oh, this is going to be an expensive lifestyle. And then I realized how much we actually eat. Like, we've cut the grocery bill in half. Like,
right. You're not buying the extra stuff. You're just purchasing meat.
Yeah. That's all it is. That's all
just
it is.
that.
So,
well, and some dairy.
Yeah. Oh, Donita, I am a complete lazy cook. I could eat the same thing every day and legitimately be happy. Like,
but you found your boredom point.
With pork chops, yes. Yeah, with keto, I wasn't really bored.
No.
I was just, this is normal to me. Now, Brian, my husband, he has to have variety. And so I'm just not that kind of person, but I'm a lazy cook. But it is a lot easier when you just take the meat outside and grill it on the grill.
Yeah.
I was thinking yesterday, I wonder how hard this would be in the winter without a grill, if we could do it as easily. We took a leg of lamb and sliced it like a steak, salt, pepper, ghee, and slow cooked on the stove. I want to try lamb. I tried ground lamb and it tasted to me like venison. So I don't know how to cook it. The leg of lamb. Is it tender? Is it a tender?
It's really good. I liked it better than steak.
Really? Oh, great.
But there was seasoning on it. Somebody made it and they put seasonings on it, unknown ones. So of course it was going to taste good.
Yeah.
But he grilled it. It was really tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
bake most meat. Yeah.
Joyce says she bakes most meats.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I'll have to try that.
Yeah.
I'll have to try that. I use my air fryer a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I have an air fryer that does baking and roasting and but I do mostly air fry. So, yeah.
Very tender.
Very tender.
I definitely yesterday I had my chicken wings out and I just air fried them with salt and pepper.
Oh.
And it was like I'm doing this kind of meal for lunch.
Yeah.
Felt kind of like, a little extreme, but it was good. And then
Yeah. Well, and I also forgot that you can do light things. So, we can do a tuna salad or a tuna a chicken salad. We can do that because there's carnivore mayo. So we can lighten it up a lot. And I think that's really important. Monica says, I invested in a Ninja Foodie air fryer, the larger one. Love it. Makes cooking bacon a breeze. No popping. Meatballs are easy too. Awesome. Nice. I had to put my money to a Ninja Creamy. Which, by the way, a carnivore ice cream recipe. So there's going to be some things right now. I'm not nose to tail because I do eggs. Is that nose to tail? Eggs or not?
It's just the nose to tail is basically just eating all of a animal, like from the nose part to the brains, the eyes to the tail.
Is that an egg? I don't know where eggs fall in, but
Well,
I
I don't
eat eggs.
necessarily. Well, an egg would be from the booty of
Yeah,
the chicken. So
I do
you're
that.
eating everything that an animal
Yeah.
produces.
Yeah. So what I'm going to
Yeah.
do is I'm going to do another 30 days. I know I've already decided that. I don't think I can go back to where I was before. Number one, I was eating too much. And number two, I was eating crap. I was back into the keto crap, and that's just as bad as everything else.
Mm.
But what I think I'm going to look at, and I don't know this to be a fact, but I did find an amazing carnivore ice cream. That social part is kind of sad. And so I thought, if I was able to enjoy this carnivore ice cream, maybe I'll try some carnivore bread, those kinds of things that I haven't tried. See if that is a good enough substitute. Here's a question. Love chicken salad and on pork rinds. Oh, that's a great idea, Joyce. Chicken salad and pork rinds. I would never thought of that. Any suggestions on how to reheat meat? I don't pre-cook a lot of meat because I don't need to. All right, that's a good one. Darcy, you have any suggestions on how to reheat?
Well,
Especially
aside from my air fryer, like I use that a lot. So pre-cooking a lot of meat. I mean, I don't really pre-cook it unless I know, like, I'll cook enough maybe for one meal extra with carnivore. So I can like reheat something that was just a smaller portion the next day, and then I'll air fry it maybe.
Yeah, air fried in butter. I'm more of a rare kind of person, so I will definitely cook the steak very rare the first night, as much as I can take it the first night, eating it, first, and then when you reheat it, it doesn't turn it into rubber. Steak would be hard to do the reheat kind of thing, but chicken is okay. Cooking it, in butter. But yeah, that I was thinking about that too, because I don't want to dry it out, and it's
you can
just
always
good off the grill.
revamp your meal, sometimes making it into something else. Like, for example, we just had grilled chicken breasts that we grilled because it's grilled chicken, and then we reheated it through the air fryer a little bit. We cut it up into strips, and then we made used the egg life wraps with cheese and put that on with the chicken strips. So we made ourselves like a little chicken strip wrap.
That's a really great idea. I just saw that on TikTok this morning. The egg life. Great idea.
Mark is not on TikTok, and Mark just came up with it himself.
Came up with it. Yeah, the one I saw on TikTok this morning had they did ground beef in a egg life wrap, and then they did a layer of cheese on a skillet and kind of wrapped the egg life. So it had a crispy outside. Yeah. So you could do that for round 2. Absolutely. Let's catch up on these comments here. Carnivore Alfredo for dipping sauce. OMG, we need the recipe for that for sure. That sounds really yummy. I'm imagining there's a lot of cream and cheese in that. Yes. Pampered Chef Stone in the oven if you don't have an air fryer. I love my stone, definitely. Yeah. Okay, here it is. Simmer most meat in water. Can also light fry in butter. Cut up meat and throw in broth to change it up. Yeah, somebody posted in group a soup the other day. That looked really good.
A meatball and bone broth soup.
That's the benefit of group, and the benefit of having all of these people together is I don't think about those things. In my mind, carnivore is a piece of meat in the grill, but these people are coming up with these brilliant, easy things. It's not like it's even, hard to do.
Right. Yeah. You got to think outside the box.
Yeah.
I see it as, when you become, I don't want to use the word desperate, but when you become desperate enough, you will think outside the box and like be like, okay, I've got this, and this. What can I do with it? Well, then you go through the process. Well, I could like fry up this cheese and then stick my ground beef and make a taco. Like just random things like that.
Yeah. And I think the key with that, Darcy, is when we started this group, we asked them to give us 30 days of hard. We asked them to do the hard things. And these guys were serious. They're like, I didn't realize what it meant by saying and committing to you that I'm going to give you 30 days of hard. And they are all in,
Yeah.
We've had some people fall off, and some people walk away.
Well,
That's expected. I said 35% of them were going to walk away and choose to not do the hard. But I am actually very surprised at how many stayed. That I was off on my math on that one. I was off because I gave them a percentage. First class we did, I said, I think I said 35% of you are going to walk away from us tonight. And then what did I say? 50% of the ones left are going to stay for 30 days and 50% are going to need 90 days. I think my math was a little bit off because more of them stayed than I thought.
Yeah.
One of
but
the frustrating,
you challenged them, right?
One of the things that I get frustrated with a lot of people, we don't call out names at all. But one of the things, but if this is you, I'm frustrated with you, is, well, tell me this doesn't frustrate you. Well, I accidentally ate a piece of broccoli yesterday, so I might as well quit because I messed up. What the heck? What the heck, Richard? Come on. Yeah. It wasn't
every
Richard.
second is
It wasn't
a new
Richard that said that.
No. Every second's a new second. You can make.
Absolutely.
You can decide to make the next second, the next breath that you take.
Yeah.
Another give up, or you can keep.
You choose to give up.
Yeah.
Giving up is a choice.
It's an excuse.
It's an excuse. Absolutely. Yeah. You can absolutely. But just because you had a green bean doesn't mean you quit. It means you get up on Monday morning and say, okay, what are we going to have today?
Yeah. How can I fix what happened yesterday? What can I do to prepare?
Right.
So that this will not happen again.
Yeah. Well, this is a great idea, Angie. Do a meat buffet and warm up all your leftovers to choose from. We had a rotisserie chicken, lamb leg steaks, hamburger, and bacon on the stove to choose from last night. Amazing.
Love it.
Is your hubby doing it with you, Angie? I could see him being a total carnivore.
Yes.
Broccoli cheat is better than a sweet cheat. Boom. Yeah. So true. But a lot of people are looking for a way out, and that's how they do it. So forgive yourself and learn. Absolutely. That's why diets don't work. That's why diet culture doesn't work, is because, we have to be perfect. If you let perfection get in the way of progress, you're going to quit. Absolutely. Even if you had a solid bad day, you get back up and you do the right things. Awesome. Yeah, it's so true. We haven't been perfect. There's been things, there's things that I'm trying that don't work. Like, I wasn't sure how strict I wanted to be with the seasonings, right? Because a lot of people only do salt, which is really technically what you're supposed to do. But some people do some seasonings. Part of trying things is to see how it impacts your body. Once you're completely detoxed, after about a couple of weeks, you will feel every single piece of food you put in your mouth. You will absolutely feel everything. And that's the power of food. When we get so desensitized because of the processed foods that are in our country, not in other countries, but the processed crap that we have here, we desensitize our bodies and we cannot feel what that food does. When you completely eliminate all of the toxins and all of the poisons, then you feel it.
That's where I feel like intuitive eating can kind of come into play, because you're able to sense all the things that your body's doing a lot better than if you were just still eating the standard American, the improper human diet.
Right.
And being an intuitive eater. That's like, your mind's not clear. You can't determine the differences on what this is doing to your body versus this. You can't, for me, even being keto, I couldn't tell when my stomach was completely full or if it was hungry. Yeah. Now, there's this heavy, and not heaviness in a bad way, but heaviness in a good way that the food noise is gone.
Right.
And I can actually think clear and not think about, okay, what's my next meal? Because really, it comes down to the fact that I don't have very many choices to choose from. I'm going to either choose meat or I'm going to choose meat. Yeah. And if meat doesn't sound good, then I'm not going to eat.
It's meat or meat. Yeah, it's so true. But even being keto, we sit with people for 8 hours a day. And where I was finding myself was in between clients, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to the kitchen because the kitchen's right next door to my office. So I would find myself thinking about my next meal. I don't do that anymore. No. I eat to live now. And if I'm not hungry, and I'm going to huge shout out to Dr. Berry. He has been incredible to our group because I asked him that question. I am struggling getting my macros. I'm not hungry and I'm not starving myself. So it's not like Octavia starving yourself with 800 calories. It's like, no, I'm legitimately full.
Mm-hmm.
And according to Dr. Berry, I'm going to give him full credit and full blame, full credit and full blame. But he said, when you eat the proper human diet, your body, God has put things in your body to regulate and to ward off that metabolic adaptation. And so I'm not freaked out about getting all my macros if I eat to live.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I love this, Anita. I took your percentages as a challenge. I've been far from perfect, but I'm still here. That
awesome.
is my goal of guilt.
Yeah.
In my first meeting, there was 100% reason why I hammered some of you are walking away for that very reason, because it made you mad and you're still in. Yeah. I love it. I adore Dr. Berry. He has been so gracious to our group.
Yeah.
Amanda, you are also right here. Using Redmond's salt as a season makes it taste better. I didn't realize how much my taste buds had been distorted until I stripped it and only used salt.
Hey, a little bit, I wanted to say something on that one because, just be careful with pink salt. Based on the fact that it's a new hype, there's a lot of other companies we're getting imported from other places that are full of heavy metals, and it's not good. So Redmond's is a great place. It is a local family owned.
It's the only salt mine in America. Is it in Utah?
Yes, it's in Utah, and they're legit. So they do not have the heavy metals. But when you are just buying pink Himalayan salt, which I have a ton of pink Himalayan salt, which I'm now like, okay, it's not Redmond's. Where is it coming from? Right. And does it have heavy metals in it?
Yeah.
You got to watch that. So if not, then Celtic salt is another great place to get your salt, your gray salt.
What is the country with the most pure? Is it, it starts with a K. It's not here in America, but.
Well, you said country.
It's Kyrgyzstan. There's somewhere that has the most pure pink salt that you could ever find. And so they say if you're going to a salt store to see where it's being mined from. So, struggling to get my macros too at the end of the day. I'm not freaking out about it. Yeah, we've had to come up with a different plan now. We also have a plan in place for our clients who have, if they metabolically adapt, we have a plan in place and we know exactly where we're going to be taking them on a reverse diet. And so if that happens, Dr. Berry just does not believe it will happen. He just believes that he said, you have metabolic adaptation on the SAD diet. On a proper human diet, your body knows exactly what to do.
Right. But think of it this way too. Every single day that we've been doing this has been different. So, one day you might be super hungry and hit those macros. Right. And then the other days you might still be full from, yesterday's meal.
Right.
Just know that's where the zigzag plays in. You're still, be able to hit those macros that you need. But every day has been different.
Yeah, so it has. And I thought I've gone through a couple of different detoxes. So I thought I wouldn't have a detox because I've been keto for 7 years. I had a horrible detox. It was an oxalate dump that was just absolutely mortifying. It was horrible. And I did a couple of those. And I feel like once your body actually goes through all of the glucose and it goes through all the storage, then there's several processes that your body's going through. So we're just a couple of days ahead of everybody on that. So how's everybody in the is everything good in the bathroom? Yep.
Day 14.
Day 14. Yeah. If you are on carnivore, you're doing carnivore with us, you don't go as often.
No. My advice to anyone who has not had a great bowel movement, just be patient.
Yep. You use everything. You're not using the cardboard.
There's no fiber.
You're using it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're cramping and you're bloated, then that's when you probably need some magnesium citrate. But Redmond's salt is the best. Everyone says the steak is good. How did you season it? Salt. Yeah, so true. I love it.
Good salt.
I love it. Linda, I feel like I'm overeating. When I add everything up, we're pushing 1,400 1,400 calories. Actually, you're right, Linda, because we actually eat more than what we think. So, especially if you go for what you're supposed to do and go for the higher fat meats, you actually are eating more than what you think. So if people are tracking and they're tracking accurately, they're probably eating in the 1,400 calorie range. It's probably, I laugh and I say 800 calories. My guess is it's not 800 calories. It's probably more in the 1400s.
With what we're cooking in and all that sort.
But track. You guys have access to the tracker. Just go ahead and track and see where you are on that.
I mean, also I would say, how do you feel? Like, are you feeling full or are you still hungry? Like when you say you're pushing 1,400 calories, are you still hungry or you feel like you are overly full and you should stop? So those are the questions I would ask. But 1,400 is probably good.
Perfect. Yeah. And your scale's going to tell you. You know, if your scale's coming down, if it's not, then that's when we do some personal adjustments. And then, you know, when people cross over and they're like, hey, I need you to transition me over, we are going to have those. At that point, we have to know how much you're eating. And so there won't be an option as to tracking if we're going to do the reverse diet and we're going to transition you over. I am shocked at how many addictive factors are in even the keto stuff, right? How many obesogens are in there that makes you chemically addicted to food and causes obesity in just regular food, right? In what we used to call regular keto food, you know, with the sweeteners and all of that. So no, not bloated and no more gas. That's huge.
Yep.
That if I had to, like, if weight weren't a factor, and I had to pick out the thing that is going to keep me in, it's my head. I now can think clearly. I don't have all of the noise in my head, and it's the no pain. Those would be the things that keep me in.
Yeah.
Keto foods are chemically laden. Yes. And I have said this from day one. We can trade one addiction for another. And a lot of people are so addicted to the keto foods, the keto crap is what we call it. They're not on any other plan than the SAD diet.
Right.
Just because they're using a sweetener does not mean it is good. Right.
Right.
So that is so true.
Like it's when I was on the genetically modified kick, and I was learning about the nitty gritty of even organic companies not truly being organic companies, because they were able to slide something by, you know, the FDA or, you know, just, it's sickening. Yeah. So doing your research for one, not doing the processed food. We love convenience. America has been for the past, 50 years has been, being developed as a convenient, needing country. And so if we could just go back into the olden days where convenience was, you know, you actually had to work hard to eat the meat or whatever food you had on the table, you know, that's, so it's sad.
My friend had an organic apple orchard, but she says it doesn't mean anything because the neighbor sprays his. Yeah. She was surrounded by neighbors who sprayed their fields. She's not organic.
She can't call.
No.
I did the same thing at my other house. Like I called my garden organic, but I couldn't call it organic because the fields around me. So, and I was always shaking my fist at them when they were spraying.
Yeah.
I'm like, how dare you?
I know.
I get it.
Yeah. Well, and look at all of these gluten. We were gluten-free before it was cool to be gluten-free. Yeah, but even if you look at the gluten-free foods, there may not be wheat, but look at the other crap around it. We have rice and we have sugar. Soy. So, yeah, let's just call it what it is and be honest, right? I love it when people participate in our lives. Aww. It's much more fun than just talking to you, Darcy.
Thanks.
I looked for organic heavy whipping cream. It had titanium dioxide. Wow. To make it more blue and guar gum. Wow. Huh. Oh, that's maddening. It's maddening. It's
interesting.
Truth.
Interesting.
So true. So
we all just need to have our own farms.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Any other questions about carnivore? About anything? About our coaching?
Yeah.
I have a really nice full day of clients today. Starts at 1 and it is every hour on the hour.
Nice.
So
mine all must be on vacation.
I think so. Yeah, they are. Actually, yours
Actually,
are.
one is in Italy, so that's
Yeah.
right.
It's very quiet over there. About a whole. Oh, here we go.
Belly.
Pork belly. You know what? I have that same question. So, how do you make those pork belly bites that are crispy? You know what I'm talking about? Somebody posted a picture of it.
Why would you not try to broil it?
So you broil it?
You could in the oven. You could broil it. You could put it on the grill and then crisp it up. You can sear it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna try that.
This is the thing. Like, the big trend for men is to have a grill or the smoker. Like, this is up their alley. Like,
it's right up their alley.
Yeah. Yes, you would have to like nix some of those sugars and seasonings and all that stuff. But this is your challenge, guys that like to grill and do all that sort. Like, what will be the most delicious piece of meat that you put on the grill or in your what did I say, your pellet or whatever you do, your smoker, that would just melt in your mouth. Right.
My goal, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try a pork belly. I want to try that so bad. Somebody posted it in group, and I just drooled a little bit when I saw it. Those of us, Carter, yes, we are gonna have. We were just talking about that before we hopped on the live of what the plan is. So right now, currently, I'll just give you a sneak preview. Right now, is it okay if I give a sneak preview?
I don't know. I feel like you need to have them on edge a little bit. We're still talking about it.
I'm kind of nice. This is what we're thinking.
I mean, okay.
So there's going to be different needs.
You're the boss.
There's going to be different needs. So there's going to be some people in the group. You crack me up. There's going to be some people in the group who are like, you know what? I did a great job. I like carnivore, but it's not for me. This is not necessarily a lifestyle that's for everybody. So those people are going to need a transition phase. They're going to need to know, okay, how do I not gain my 20 pounds back, right? What's the key? How do I not do this? How do I implement some keto foods? How do I, maybe there's some people that will need a reverse diet. So there's those people who are going to need to transition out of keto without gaining the weight back. I believe those people need the one-on-one coaching probably, because we're going to have to deal with your macros specifically. And then there's the people who are like, I need 90 days. I need 90 days and I need the group support. I can't do this without the group. So we're thinking those people are going to be filtered into our weight loss support group. And that group meets every Monday. They won't have the help with their macros. They won't have help with the transition, but they will have the support. They will have the group aspect. They'll have the fun stuff. And was there a third group?
I don't know. You're the boss.
This
is why we weren't going to say anything yet.
Yeah, there may be a third.
Go ahead. There was a third one.
There was.
I forget.
Well, it's the third option. I don't need anybody. I don't need anybody. Good to go. We're going to give you the blessing. Yay. High five. Go for it. Yes. And then they're on their own. So that's kind of what we're thinking. But there may be a fourth option. I don't know. Smoked brisket. Oh dear. Now here's a question, Joyce. I am married to a smoker. Smoker snob. Apparently, according to him, he has to stay up for 24 hours in order to do this smoked brisket. Now, granted, it is the most delicious meat you've ever had in your mouth, but do you really have to stay up?
Yes.
For 24 hours? Yes. I mean, his phone will buzz him when a meat gets to a certain point.
This is why they're dedicated. These guys are crazy.
Church. He was in church. We were listening to the sermon one day. Pastor Phil was talking, and his phone went off, and it says, "Please turn up the smoker." And he turned it up from the pew. I don't know how he did that.
Oh, my goodness. Well,
oh, my goodness.
That's tech
funny.
savvy.
I'll let you know what I do with it. Yeah, there's so many things you can do with it, Amanda. There's so many things. Once you have the foundation of elimination, world's open to you.
Yeah.
I'm not reading the comments before I'm posting them, so just know that. I need 90 to 120 days. Yes. And the other thing is, Monica, you're going to fall in love with those people anyway, because we meet every Monday, and those people are like Those are my people. I leave. We had group last night. I just leave. They were really quiet though. Mike was a little too quiet. Smoker snob. Yes. So you are married, Linda, to a smoker snob as well, or did you hear my hubby's? I think, yeah, Linda goes to my church. She might have heard my hubby's smoker alarm with Pastor Phil's preaching up there. You have to keep the fire going, but we cook our brisket at 350 degrees for 4 hours, and everyone loves it. Oh, you only do it for 4 hours. Okay. Why does my husband do 24?
Either are you talking about on the grill or in the oven? 350, 4 hours.
Oh.
In the oven. In the grill. We miss Gary. Gary's having a blast in Italy.
Yeah, Gary is going to have a massive detox when he gets home.
In the oven. Okay. Yes, in the oven for 4 hours. Right. 350.
Okay.
Done and done.
My husband would say it would have to go in the pellet thing. He is even attached. Not only is he attached to the grill on his phone, but he's attached to the company, and they know when he's cooking, and there's a whole group on Facebook. Let me tell you. It's a cult.
No.
It is a cult. Uh-huh.
What is this?
For real. I love it.
Brian, we need to have a coaching session.
No, actually, it's the best. You had some of it at Thanksgiving.
I did.
It's really good.
Oh, I did. That's really right. Good. I guess.
I can't knock him for it.
Yeah.
Oh, it gives you crispy. Oh, I love the crispy burnt ends, and also add a cup of water. Have you added? Have you added apple cider vinegar? That's probably not carnivore, but you don't add it to it, but you add it in the stove, so it like the fumes.
Probably is helpful for cleaning that afterwards too.
Well, it gives it a flavor. And there's all sorts. Here's the other thing. There's all sorts of flavored pellets. Mm-hmm. There's apple and cherry. And it does make the meat taste different.
Yeah.
Me, I do not have the patience. I have the patience of bacon. That's my patience.
Done.
Yeah. I did throw chicken on the grill, and I was doing a couple of meetings. Glad hubby isn't on Facebook. He is. Well, my hubby is. He stalks me, and he will probably be sending me a text and say, leave him alone.
Yeah.
On ACV, not sure the reasoning. Yeah. It's probably the smell or something.
Apple.
Yeah.
Vinegar.
Mm-hmm. So, any other questions for us? We're just kind of having a relaxed live today.
Until when?
Well, we have about 6 minutes left.
For an hour? Hey, I have a question. When did our lives go from 30 minutes to an hour?
When I raised your payroll.
Did you? Did you?
Yeah, I put you on the upper level of payroll, and suddenly they went from a half hour to an hour.
Okay.
Oh, my word. Oh, that was a joke.
It was. I know. That's why I was laughing.
Oh, gosh. Oh, yes. So let's talk about carnivore ice cream. You bet I will. And again, this is all, so I have a really carnivore recipe, and then I have one that I'm thinking and contemplating on using. I use what's called Prime Equip protein powder. It is 100% beef. And if you get chocolate, you just go to Amazon and get it. If you get chocolate, it only has stevia and cocoa powder. So it is the cleanest. Now they have a whole bunch of different flavors. It's all 100% beef, but the extra ingredients is what I choose not to. So there's some, do you know what the ingredient is in the vanilla? It's not bad. It's not bad, and it's clean. It's cleanest protein powder we've ever found. But the chocolate is the most. I mean, it's cocoa powder and stevia are the only two outside ingredients. So with the Ninja Creamy, you make your base with that. So you make, and instead of using anything like almond milk, I will use heavy cream and water and that protein powder. And so that will be a form of it. I tried it. I did my first, it tastes like a Wendy's Frosty. The other one that is more carnivore than that is eggs, egg yolks, heavy cream, and a little bit of vanilla extract.
Is that what the protein sparing ice cream is?
Yeah. That's probably more carnivore than the protein powder. So that's the decisions that I'm going to have to make at the end. And probably if I were to lean that way, I probably would not have that as my regular. I would probably do a nose to tail, whatever I'm doing now throughout the week. And then on the weekends when family comes over this summer, bring in the carnivore ice cream. Ninja Creamy, I cannot tell you how many amazing, wonderful things about that. That is something that is definitely worth the investment.
Did you know I asked Mark, because he ordered me one on Mother's Day.
I saw that. That was.
I said, did you begrudgingly get me this Ninja Creamy? Because of my family saying what they did.
He'll love it.
And I don't think he said he doesn't do things that he doesn't want to do.
I would believe that. Yeah. Group and Monica.
So I got one coming.
Yeah. Oh, it's wonderful. So the key to a Ninja Creamy is to make the base. Okay. So the base is a liquid. So it can be anything. Like literally TikTok has a whole line of Ninja Creamy, but for carnivore and for keto, you find your base and then you can put anything else in it. I'm just going to do regular, it's just chocolate carnivore ice cream. But then when you creamy it up, you put it in through the soft serve and then you put a hole in the middle of it. This is for you so you know, okay, Darcy?
Okay.
You put a hole in the middle of it and you put some cream and you put your liquid in there again. Run it a second time, then you get your soft serve.
Oh, okay.
So that's the key, is running it twice.
Okay.
So
I was looking at this protein sparing one with the egg.
Yes. And I verified because I'm like, my daughter-in-law had a fit when I said eggs. She's like, you can't, you have to cook them. You don't cook them.
Well, this one is cooked. It's just egg whites cooked.
Mm-hmm. The recipe I have is the egg yolks uncooked. So,
yolks.
Yes,
okay. This one's egg white. I'm curious, but it has prime protein in there too.
Uh-huh. Prime protein is incredible. It's the cleanest that you'll find.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Anyway.
All right. So, any closing arguments or any closing thoughts or any closing? You got two coaches here.
Argue. Let's go.
An argument?
Let's not argue.
We'll bring up the topic of counseling and journaling.
Beef tallow. Okay. I've got this one.
Oh, good. Because I don't know what that is.
But I don't remember the name. So if you have a Thrive Market account, they have, I'm going to look it up real quick. They have a beef tallow that is organic, and it starts, I think it starts with the F. But that's where I get mine, because Thrive has a lot of organic options, and now I can't find my Thrive app. But it's like a month to month. You have to have a membership to order from that. But I do order. I didn't think I was going to order as much as I did, but I do. So
I just put the link to the carnivore protein powder that I use in the link as well.
So FatWorks is the name.
FatWorks for beef tallow.
Mm-hmm. And right now on Thrive, they usually go with the cheaper price that any other company has it as, and it's $15. So I think that is the FatWorks. Mm-hmm.
Does it taste different than ghee?
I've not tried it yet.
Okay, I've heard great things about it. So.
I would hope that it tastes better than ghee, because I'm usually like that. But I don't know if mine was just I don't know if you're supposed to I don't think you're supposed to I don't know if you're supposed to refrigerate it. Honestly. Just not sure. So
there is the Ninja Creamy link.
All right. You make your own ghee. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, guys, we are going to sign off of here. We're here every Tuesday morning. We'll have another update for you next week and next week we're going to meet. Our carnivore group has an official session next week. So we will be with them on Thursday. And so, we're going to sign off of here today.
Wait a second. Yes. I'm going to put my Thrive link on there.
Drop it in
and then you've got a discount on there if you use that link. But I can't. There we are. I'm going to go push it right here. So awesome. This is Now we can leave.
All right. Awesome. We love you guys. Let us know if you need us. Let us know if you need any help. If you're tired of doing this weight loss thing on your own, we're here. We're crazy, but we're here. And we're here every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern for an hour. Used to be a half hour. We used to just pop on and pop off. But when we have people talking to us, we'll stay here.
We'll stick around.
Yeah. All right.
We like to chat.
All right. So I'm going to drop in the link here. We're going to sign off by sending you to our free coaching group. And so you have that direct link for that. So we'll see you next Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Monica here. Guess what? If you're fed up with feeling stuck in your battle with weight or food, I've got something just for you. Check out our free Facebook groups. Over at Food Addiction and Recovery, I'm over there waiting for you. We're going to walk this journey together. It's about getting real, sharing our stories, and lifting each other up. We're in this together every step of the way. And if you're curious about changing your life with keto, the Weight Loss Project is where you want to be. Coach Darcy is amazing. And together, we're not just talking about losing weight. We're talking about finding a happier, healthier you. So, what do you say? Are you ready to join us? The links are in the show notes below, and I'm telling you, this is more than an invite. It is the start of something great.